It's another interesting edition of the Market Review where we discuss key developments in the financial and capital market as it affects the economy. Our focus today will be on the review of the Investment and Securities Bill 2021, the quest for an inclusive capital market. And my guest is Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, the Chairman, House Committee on Capital Market and Other Related Institutions. Nice to have you once again on the program.
Thank you very much, Ottoabasi.
Thank you. Before we begin the conversation, let us give you a wrap of some key market stories. Consistent with its commitment to contribute to the growth and development of the capital markets in Nigeria and Africa, Nigeria Exchange Limited says it will continue to collaborate with market stakeholders to enhance securities lending transactions and provide an efficient and liquid market for investors. This is even instructive as the exchange noted that securities lending presents significant benefits to investors in a bull or bear market, either as lenders or borrowers. Speaking during the NGX Securities Lending Forum 2022 in collaboration with Stanbic IBTC, which held in Lagos last week, the divisional head, Capital Markets, Mr. Jude Chiemeka, stated that securities lending transactions have become an important element of capital markets all over the globe. It's the Market Review show, and our conversation today is on the review of the Investment and Securities Bill 2021. My guest is Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, Chairman of the House Committee on Capital Market and Other Institutions. Let's first begin with the fact that despite all the activities in the economy, we still have a low market to GDP size in the country. As of 2007, our market to GDP size was 29.7%, but now it has declined to even 18%, showing that key players in the growth sectors in the Nigerian economy do not have their securities listed on the capital market. How do you receive this, Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, and what needs to be done to really make the capital market more attractive to deepen economic activities?
You see, for a very long time, there has been a loss of confidence by investors in the capital market since the capital market crisis in the 90s. Now, you see, that is the more reason why the repeal and reenactment of this bill was introduced in the House of Reps. Why we are repealing is because we've discovered that in order to boost investors' confidence, there is a need to have almost a total review of most of the sections of the existing Investment and Securities Act. That's why we're not amending the Act, we're repealing the Act, and we are doing reenactment. Some of the key areas of emphasis, you see, has to do with the power, strengthening the power of the Commission to ensure that they perform the regulatory function. And we've also realized that there are a lot of activities such as development in the Nigerian capital market, bitcoins, and the rest of derivatives, and so many other things that were not captured in the existing Investment and Securities Act, which a provision has also been made. If you look at the commodity exchanges also, and we try as much as we can to, it was not part of the present Investment and Securities Act, the commodity exchanges. So we have to make regulations that will ensure the performance of the commodity exchanges with the necessary backing of the law. There are a lot of amendments in the Act, which I believe at the end of the day, it will boost investors' confidence, and it will attract a lot of investors, and it will also secure individuals and corporate investment in the capital market.
That's very nice to hear. And speaking of the Securities and Exchange Commission, what's the approach? Just over the weekend, you were in Uyo for the retreat of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group in partnership with the National Assembly Business Economic Roundtable, looking at the capital market. The keynote speaker, Mr. Olufemi Awemi, MNI Chairman of ProShare, said the approach to the role of the Securities and Exchange Commission analysts have argued that SEC has laid much more emphasis on revenue generation and veered off its primary role of promoting capital formation and intermediation. What are your thoughts on this development as you seek to repeal this act? Are you considering this amongst your fellow members to see how the Securities Exchange Commission can be big on capital market development beyond revenue generation?
Well, in reality, if you look at some of the relevant sections that we're amending, I think the area that has to do with revenue generation is only on the issue of penalties, where the penalties were reviewed, and this is to discourage manipulations in the capital markets. Apart from that, if you look at the investment tribunal, and we also look at the investment tribunal, and because the way they are, you see, there's a kind of challenges with the finances to enable the tribunal perform effectively. And you see, if you look at the tribunal as it is, the provisions were made that funding of the tribunal will come from the key players. So what we are trying to do is that to look at how we can expand the funding of the investment tribunal, so that, like what somebody has described, the nomadic nature, where they move from one region to another for the court to see it. Somebody described it during our retreat as nomadic nature. What a situation where the tribunal can sit in all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country with all the lawyers and whatever. That's why the membership of the tribunal has also been increased to enable the tribunal to sit in the various regions. So what I'm trying to say is that, you see, the emphasis on this review of the existing bill, 2022 bill, is not on revenue generation. You see, in primarily to align with international best practice, and also to align with the development in the capital market itself, where a lot of activities that are not captured, like I said earlier, in the existing Investment and Security Act, derivatives, commodity exchanges, and other form of investments that are new, digital investments, need to be regulated. And that will also protect investors within the country. And at the same time, we feel at the end of the day, a lot of people come to the capital market. And by increasing the size of investment in the capital market, I believe the Nigerian capital market will grow. So it's not about revenue generation by the commission. That is not the focus of the review of the bill.
I'm happy you've stated that, and because the Nigerian apex regulator needs to be big on market development so that all the ecosystem grows to support economic activities. But for you, from the retreat that was held to look at the impact of the capital market on the economy, what stood out for you? What were the key takeaways? Because one of the challenges identified with the capital market is the lack of cooperation amongst stakeholders, the need for that to be strengthened. What were the key takeaways for you from that interesting retreat held in Rio?
Like you said, we held our public hearing on the 20th of this month. And the essence of the public hearing is to listen to the stakeholders within the capital market ecosystem. What is their opinion with regard to all those amendments? Some reservations were raised, some observations were raised, and some people have made their own contributions. They have made their own submissions. So we felt that there's a need for us to organize a retreat, which was organized in collaboration, the SEC, Nigeria Economic Summit Group. We carry all our members, let them understand exactly what the bill intends to achieve. Because it's not all of them that are familiar with the operation of the capital market, yet there are the same people that have an opinion about the bill. So what we did was that we picked some of the major reviews in the bill as a deep dive, where professionals were invited to highlight the essence of that amendment. Members during the retreat has raised a lot of questions. They have seek for a lot of clarifications, which that was the essence of amending the bill, so that members of the National Assembly will be very cumbersome and will be very familiar with the intention and the objective of those amendments. You see, that's why even though the bill is in the House of Reps, members of the Senate were also invited to join, because we believe at the end of the day, if the bill passed through the House, it has to go to the Senate for concurrence. So we don't have to wait until when it goes to the Senate for concurrence. I will start making some explanations. So from inception, we carry the Senate along to make sure that all of us are on the same page, and to also make sure that we intend, we listen, we review the submissions of the key stakeholders to make sure that at the end of the day, we have a kind of effective law that we believe at the end of the day will test the test of time.
Yeah. Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, in just a few minutes, can you give us updates on also the CIS Act? Because several other institutions made their own comments and concerns around it.
You see, it depends on the nature of the concern. If the concern has to do with the growth of the capital market, or it will improve the effectiveness of the amendment, we'll consider it. But if the observations or reservation is personal to an institution or is personal to an individual, as a committee, we are supposed to lay our reports on the floor of the House. So whatever proposal we made to the House is also subject to the members' committee of the whole to look at all those areas and also make a final position. I see the essence of all this is to ensure that we have a perfect document. That is why even after the passage in the House of Reps, it will still go to the Senate. The Senate will look at all our position of the House, as will also make their own positions. If the Senate agree with the position of the House, we don't have an issue. If there's a difference in opinion, then we have to form a kind of conference committee for each chamber to explain the reason why they are taking a particular position. So whichever position that is stronger, then we just adopt it. So I can tell you the parliamentary procedure has been very, it's okay, and it will checkmate all those concerns. And I believe at the end of the day, it's not an individual decisions, it's a collective decision of the committee and the House. And apart from members of the committee, we have other professionals in the National Assembly. Some of them are even players. Some have been in the capital market, they understood the capital market very well. So even if they don't have the opportunity of attending the retreat, if they don't have opportunity of being members of the committee, at least they have opportunity when the bill is being considered on the floor of the House for them to make their own inputs.
Thank you very much, Honorable Babangida Ibrahim. And I believe that with what you're doing with the House Committee and also with that of the Senate, chaired by Senator Ibikunle Amosun, we all yearn for a fit-sized capital market that meets the realities of the 21st century, that is inclusive, and also a regulatory environment that encourages innovation and protects the interest of investors. That's what we really yearn for and hope that your committee and that of the Senate will work to ensure that this is in place. Thank you once again, Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, Chairman, House Committee on Capital Markets, for taking out the time to have this conversation on the review of the Investment and Securities Bill, of course, and the request for an inclusive capital market. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you some other time. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Enjoy your rest in the city of Katsina.
Thank you.
And that'll be all for this edition of the Market Review Show. If you have questions or comments or suggestions on what we've discussed today, send them to the email displayed on the screen. Also, you can follow our website, www.proshare.co, to read our latest news articles, stories, and reports, particularly around the developments on the capital market and the economy. We have some rich articles for you. Now, to all our viewers, just to let you know that we are carrying out the ongoing survey of our 8th edition of the ProShare Online Trading Ranking Reports. Join our website, follow our social media platforms, and be part of the survey for all market operators, because we want to bring out the best from our market. Thank you for watching, and keep discussing the financial and capital markets, because they create wealth and economic opportunities.